Hey guys, the market seems to be working its way back up after that big gap down. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, I never, as I say in most of these videos, I don't make any money off trying to predict what's going to happen. Just commenting on it, right? We had the big gap down, then we had a gap up the next day, but sold off. Then today we had a gap up and it closed above its open. So who knows? I mean, we're holding up pretty well, all things considered. A couple highlights from today in the chat room. By the way, today was FOMC day, which is my least favorite day to trade because it's usually pretty dead before FOMC, and then after FOMC you get a little chaos, but not that much anymore like we used to back in the day. But even then, it's like stuff that I'm watching, I feel like never really follows through for the rest of the day. So I'm just thrilled to have it behind me. I still had a decent day, but and there was a couple nice afternoon runners. I skillfully avoided being in them though. One of them was at ATER. But anyway, I want to show you a couple highlights from today, and then hopefully we'll get back to some decent trades tomorrow. WIMI just took off out of the gate. Kevin P, who is almost always makes the highlight video, called WIMI. I'll show you what it looked like. So there's the high, there's a lower high, and it sells off. He called a second mouse through 450, which it triggered there. Never even dropped a dime from there and went all the way up to 520. That was a neat little call, even though it closed well off its highs. And another one I have in my notes is Dylan M called AFRM through 112, and we'll look at the intraday. You can see it topped out. This is the opening 5-minute candle right here. So it topped out at 112, sold off, and then came back up. And in the afternoon when it broke its highs, and we like, if a stock is in play, maybe it's on Bounce Watch, maybe it's just a recent high flyer, which is what I would say AFRM is. We like the afternoon high of day breaks, and you had a whole number inflection point on top of that. So there's the 112 break, and it went pretty quickly to 115.41, and I don't think you were ever underwater. So there's just a couple highlights from today. And actually, I maybe should have this one on watch. Anyway, the daily chart's kind of interesting, but I don't. Here's what I'm watching for tomorrow. ATER, which is one that I mentioned a little bit ago, is having a strong afternoon run that I skillfully avoided, even though I had it on a chart in front of me. Still interesting, though. I had the big pop here on massive volume, over 19 bucks, sold off, and now it's curling back up. Today's high, 16.93. Actually, in after hours, this almost went to 19, I think. It might have, actually, so I'm not sure. Let me switch to fives over here and look. No, got very close to 19 in after hours. Not that that means anything for tomorrow, just pointing it out. We are going to watch it. It's worth noting it has been running 4 days in a row now, so keep that in mind. I always feel like I'm chasing when I find something that's been running several days in a row and then I start watching it. Although we've had some decent trades in it over the past week or so. Past couple of weeks, really. QS, a quiet inside day. After the big breakout yesterday, today a quiet inside day, looking for a third day play there. EEIQ, I stepped out of the room today and missed this nice little breakout. We already had it on watch, so I would have loved an opening range breakout, and by the time I came back in, I was outside doing yard work, actually, because FOMC, I didn't think anything was going to happen before the announcement. Came back and saw that. Hope some of you all in chat got that. Anyway, long story short, the daily chart still looks pretty good. It had a big pop here. It hit that $8 area again, and then briefly pierced it today. Actually, after hours, it's trading at 8.30 right now, but very strong chart recently, so we're going to watch that one, all right? DVAX, big rip today. It went from 1577 to 2066 before settling in under 19. We're going to watch that for some kind of continuation pattern tomorrow. ONTX, nice breakout today, and a fairly strong close, but big volume, so we'll see if that gives a follow-up day setup, if you will. NNVC, kind of a quiet inside day. I'm watching for a third day play there. NURO had the breakout yesterday. Today, kind of a quiet inside day. Pretty good setup for a third day play. Life, we talked about this. It had a big pop yesterday. Today, stayed inside of yesterday's high and topped out right around 12. So I love this through 12 tomorrow, knowing that yesterday's high was 12.34 and then the most recent high, 12.97. So we have a stacked catalyst scenario and a possible whole number inflection point tomorrow. I'm going to watch that one through 12 if it looks clean on level 2. RGC just had this crazy rip back here and has been bleeding lower ever since, but today got a volume spike. Keep in mind that volume spike right there still only got it to about 1 million shares, so it's really fallen off of everyone's radar. But today it did top out at 23.89. And man, I'm looking at after hours. It looks like it went to over 28 in after hours, which is how sometimes these thin ones can just get goofy in after hours. Anyway, right now it's trading at 23.80. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. See if it gives a setup. OPAD has almost round tripped, but anyway you slice it, this thing was almost 21 bucks about 5 sessions ago, and now it's down under 11. I still like it for a potential bounce play. You guys know I like my bounce plays to be afternoon breakouts. If I can get it, that's my favorite way to trade these. HLBZ had the gap up here, sold off another day, and you had it happen again and sold off today again too. There's a lot of bag holders in it, but then I still think it's interesting. It's had some crazy moves, and now you've got a couple red days in a row. I'd love to see a narrow range and an afternoon high of day break tomorrow, but we don't always get what we want. I am going to watch it. And then EDSA had the big news 3 sessions ago, then a lower high, then another lower high. This is another one I'd like to see an afternoon high of day break on. We'll add gappers to this list in the pre-market as well, and there should be plenty to trade tomorrow. I am done babbling. I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.